So what is SonarQube? SonarQube is a wonderful tool, and basically SonarQube we manage for the code quality. And when we say code quality, it's like the person who's writing a code, and we might call him as a developer, and we might call him as a QA people. Any person who writes a code, no matter whether it's for the product, no matter whether it's for the system, no matter whether it's for the automation, QA, infrastructure. So for any purpose, we have a people in our software project who is writing a code, and that code has to be analyzed. The standard and the quality has to analyzed, and need to find out whether the code is been is standard code, quality code or not. Okay, so we need to analyze that tool, not using the SonarQube. Let me tell you, I'm not just talking about, okay, we have a source code and SonarQube analyze the code. I'm not talking about that one. I'm saying like, okay, we need to analyze it. Okay, and there's one process which we use nowadays. These are some tools which we use nowadays to analyze the code. So no matter whether you write a code in Java, C++, C, anything like, let's say, Chef, Puppet, and whatever code you like, right? HTML, CSS, JavaScript. So all this code has to be analyzed, and there are tools available to analyze that code. Some of the tools are paid tools, and some of the tools are open source tools, and those tools we call it code analysis tool. Okay, code analysis tool. So what are these code analysis tools? So let me show you some of the code analysis tool. So list of code analysis tool, and I'll put it in a right perspective, then we will call it static code analysis tool. Okay, because we analyze the code statically. Okay, now if you look at this, is the Wikipedia. Okay, wikipedia.org. Here it says list of tools for static code analysis. Wonderful. So now just let's click on it, and now if you see there, you have a technology, and for each of these technology you have a tools are available. So let me talk about the Java. So these are the tools which is available. Check style, Findbox, Emma, IntelliJ, so many tools are there. So each of these technology which you have seen here, the languages, okay, for each of the languages there are static code analysis too. So what happens? These static code analysis tools, let's say check style or Findbugs or Covarity or IntelliJ, or these are the PMG, check style. So all these tools runs on the source code and generate a quality report. Again, I'm repeating, these tools, okay, runs on the source code and generate a quality reports. So let me put it in the right perspective. This is a presentation, and here we have a static code analysis tool. Now scat. Now this tools runs on the source code, okay, and now generate the reports. And which is the reports? It can be in CSV format, it can be in XML format, it can be in HTML format, it can be in XLS format. So depends on the tools, depends on the report format, they generate the reports. Now these reports we can see that and try to find out how much issues, how much code issues we have it, how many code issues we have it on our source code. Okay, and that is we call it static code analysis tools, static code analysis process. In a simple way, we do the code analysis. Okay, so now I hope you understood why do we do the code analysis. So now why we are doing it? The reason is 70%, okay, as per the one of the research which I am stating right now, 70% of the bugs, again I'm repeating, 70% of the bugs which is getting reproduced, I mean which is getting, what is it, um, which is getting reported after the release, because of the code issues, because of the bad code quality, because of the bad code skeleton, bad code design, bad code security loopholes, and so many other issues. 70% bugs. That means now you know that how much of time, money, and resources any organization spend on the bug fixing, right? So much of, and then out of that 70% just because of the code issues in your product. So if you do the right code, if you do the better code, then these bugs can be avoided easily. That means you can save money, you can improve the quality of the software, and also you can do the productivity much faster and things like that, software development much faster. So this is very important, but there are some more advantages what we have, like security analysis. Static code analysis process will give you the security analysis. It will help you to find out the issues in your code. Your code will be with the much more quality. Developers will be having right process to practice, and so many advantages. So this is all about it, static code analysis. So now you must be wondering, okay, I am talking about static code analysis. Okay, I'm talking about static code analysis, and the topic which we have is SonarQube. So how is related? So now you know that what is a static code analysis, what are the tools we have in static code analysis, and why static code analysis. So we have understood so far these things, but now we need to understand how come SonarQube is coming into this picture. So basically, let me tell you, for after each static code analysis you run, you generate what? What is the output of? What is the output? What is the output of SCAT, static code analysis tool? And the output is matrix. Matrix is nothing but a reports on, what is the output on SCAT? Matrix reports on of the source code, or reports of the quality of the source code. Okay, so this is the reports of the source of the code, reports of the quality of the source code. So now this is the output from the SCAT, so static code analysis tools, which runs on your source code. Now you have these reports over the period of 6 months. 6 months. So how are you going to store? The question is 6 months of reports. The problem which you are experiencing right now, how you are going to store it, how you are going to store it, how you are going to visualize that over the period of timeline. So how you are going to visualize over the period of time, over period of time. How can you monitor the code improvement of the team? How can you monitor code quality standard of the project? So basically there's so many things you need it, and how can you manage the code quality for multiple projects, not only one project, but you have to manage the multiple projects. How can you you know have the backup, restore and timeline for years of growth of the code? So these are the important questions which we get it. So again, I'm repeating few things. We have understood what is a static code analysis. We have also understood what are the static code analysis tools, and we have understood why the static code analysis is important. Now, what are the output of static code analysis? Matrix. But this is an instant matrix which you generated. So now the question is, the problem here, it's not about the one time you get the matrix and you are satisfied with that. The problem, you will get it like you are running a project and that might run for the 5 years, 6 years, 10 years, 12 years, 15 years, and you need to store these matrix somewhere. These matrix over the period of 6 years you are going to store somewhere. That's the problem. How you are going to visualize over the period of time? That means how you're going to see that, how whether you are going towards the progress, improvement, or problem area and things like that. Okay, there's one more issues which you like, how can you monitor the code? Because if this is generating reports, how everyone can see, how everyone can take a decisions as a team? How can you see that? So there should be some mechanism in which you can monitor the code improvement and all the stuff by the team, with the help of the team, and it should be accessible by to everyone. Okay, now how can you define the code quality standard for the projects? Like let's say you generated a code, static code analysis for the module 1, but over the period of time you have to define the standards, whether you are having the good standards, good ratio of the code quality, or bad ratio of the code quality. So how can you decide for the projects? And also, how can you manage the multiple code quality of the multiple projects? So these are the issues which you will experience over the period of time. Okay, so what is the solution for this to avoiding this problem? The solution is SonarQube. So when I say SonarQube, SonarQube is not a static code analysis tool. Again, I'm repeating. Many people say, okay, it's a code analysis tool. No, SonarQube is not a static code analysis tool. It is a tool which is a kind of quality management tool. Okay, so now when you talk about that, what is SonarQube? So SonarQube is a quality management tool. That means it manages your quality. Okay, it manage a platform where it manages the quality over the period of time, and so you can get all this thing done. Okay, so any confusion on this? What is SonarQube now? Any questions?
Hello, yeah, this is Godfred. I just joined.
Hi Fred, welcome. Okay, any questions? No. So now let me conclude and move forward. Now let's talk about the SonarQube. So now this is remember, this is a quality management tool for managing the thousands of reports over the period of time for not only one project but also for hundreds of projects, and also have the better visualization, better timeline, and to find out whether you are making towards the progress or your problem, you are having the problem with your source code, who's writing the bad code, who's writing good code, and all this stuff. Okay, so now let me introduce you to SonarQube, a platform in which we are going to discuss as part of the overview code quality. What is the code quality, why we need it, and when it's needed. We are also going to discuss about the 7 axes of the code quality, and then technical debt, and then move on to the SonarQube introduction. So now Code quality may include in many ways actually. So if you look at that, the code quality is also related to efficiency, maintainability, error management, testability, comprehensibilities, usability, and so many things. Okay, so code quality is a very vast word, very vast domain. So you have to find out the code quality for the many parameters, and these are the parameters. Probably you see that here. You have a robustness, correctness, portability, execution speed, looping speed, and everything. Okay, so we are going to find out the code quality for the all these matrix whatever is needed. Okay, so in a nutshell, what is a code quality? Code quality is a kind of indicator about the quality developers can add business value to the software system. We have discussed. Okay, now why to measure the code? We have already discussed. Source code is the heart of the each system. Developers don't want to write new software, they maintain legacy system. A system is almost never finished. You can't improve if you don't measure, and broken into theories. That means if you do not do that, so it will be broken. Okay, now when you should do measure? So from the day one, and you should be continuously, and you should prioritize and plan and prevent and the last moment changes and then post actions and things like that. So we have discussed, I'm just skipping it. Why what you should measure? So basically it's not a just abstract number, it's a great thing, it's a list of things, but most of the time you measure 7 deadly sins. And what is the 7 deadly sins? So you want to measure as part of the code quality these 7 deadly sins, and these are architectural or design issues in your code, commenting issues in the code, uh, issues which may be converted into potential bug, complexity of the code, you are not following the coding rules, you have a duplicated code, your unit tests are not present. So these are the 7 axes of the quality which you want to run it on and find it out through the source code. Now, so what is a technical debt? So let me tell you, SonarQube or tools like that will help you to come out of the technical debt. Technical debt is something like this. If you have a 10 issues in your source code, over the period of time, end of the year, probably you'll be having 100 issues. And that is nothing but a debt. You need to fix that. You need to fix that in order to overcome and then keep improving. So that means you have, let's say, you have taken a, let's say you have taken a 100 rupees from the market, and then on that interest rate is growing less for the 10%, and so 10% you are growing for the interest rate. Now this 10% is your debt, you'll have to pay for it every time, right? So it's like this. So if you do not if you are having the release in the market, the product is released into the market, and if the customer finds the bugs on your software, or maybe you find a bugs in your software because of the code quality issues, that is your debt. You need to fix it. You need to fix it given point of the time, other else you will lose the customer. So that is become a technical debt, and you have to come out of it, and that is important. So if you do not if you do not pay or clear the technical debt, that means if you do not fix your bugs properly, then you will be in a messy situation. So now we have understood what is the importance of the code quality and stuff like that. Now, as I said, it's an open platform. SonarQube is an open platform to manage the code quality. It is not a static analysis tool. It will manage the code which has been generated by the static code analysis tool. Why? Because you want to have this record for the years. You want to visualize it, you want to use it, you want to make out of some you want to take some decision and make out of some intelligence out of it. So basically you can take all these things. So basically what kind of things you can manage on the SonarQube? Architectural and design issues, comment issues, coding rules, potential bug, complexity, unit tests, and duplication. These are the issues you normally do that. So what is this SonarQube in another and simple word? SonarQube is a web-based platform. You have a rules, alert, thresholds, inclusion, settings can be configured online. Okay, that means rules is nothing but like a what is the condition to say that this code is wrong or good. So this is nothing but a rules decide, okay, if you follow this way then your code is good, if you follow that way your code is not good. And alerts, thresholds, exclusion and all stuff. Okay, you can also use a database to store the SonarQube metrics. Okay, MySQL, Oracle, Postgres, and so many databases you can use it. Okay, and the dashboard is extremely powerful. It's very efficient. It's a very user friendly. So you will see that when I will show you the demo. So it's very easy to use in order to find out the defects in your source code. Okay. Okay, so it is again, it's a open source. It's provide the moment in time quality snapshot. That means in any given point of time it will give you that, okay, this is the kind of quality you have for your product. Okay, you have a better indicators, you have a trends of lagging and leading. That means it will give you the visualization. You can track developers whether they are making a problem related to deadly sins, which you talked about it. So all these things we have it. How does it work? I need to explain you. So this slides might not help you much. So now I have to explain you this one. So I'll come back to this how does it work, but later. But here let's get into this slides. SonarQube for everything. Yeah, basically you can manage all the languages, the code quality on SonarQube. So everything is possible on the SonarQube. You don't have to buy any other software. Okay, and who's going to use it? So those people who write a code and those who wants to find out the issues in the bugs, or the management who's trying to find out the standard and quality of your code, then it's been useful for them. Okay, so now what you have on the code quality front, basically you can manage the code quality. You have a dashboard, historical data, different views. You can compare the services, code reviews, actions plans and everything. You can also extend with the SonarQube with the plugins. So you have a plugins. If some of the features are not there in the SonarQube, you can add it using the plugins concept. So you can also extend it. Okay, so now this is the kind of demo stuff. So, and this is the kind of dashboard it looked like. I'll show you an image and stuff like that. So the important question which I skipped it, that is how SonarQube works, and you need to understand too. Okay. Okay. So so far, any questions, any doubts and things like that? Any doubts?
So what is the difference between this static code analysis and the function what SonarQube is providing?
I just said in a simple way, static code analysis is a set of rules which you can run on the code, and it will give you the reports. What is the standard of the source code? Now that report you stored over the SonarQube, so you can manage that code over the period of time, and not only manage the code but also anyone who would like to see, okay, what was the quality which was the last year, what was the quality today, what is the quality standard of that product today, and also if you want to know who's making the bad commit, who's making the good commit, you want to see that what exactly the error in a easiest friendly way, because you saw that so many static code analysis tool, and you must be having so many languages in your project. So maybe you are having C, maybe you are having Java, maybe you are having JavaScript, maybe you are using Perl, Python, PSQL, and so many languages. So how can you store all this so static code analysis which you generate every day to one place? SonarQube is the solution for that. Am I making any sense?
Yeah, so basically you mean to say like it is supporting multiple languages. That's why like we can store all these reports and other details.
Yes, yeah.
Am I am I understanding correct? Okay.
One more way, simplest way, if I want to make you to understand. See, you generate a lot of files every day, and you want to know, have you used the Git ever?
Yes, I did.
Cool. So if you have used Git SVN, so what do? You write a code every day. And why do you store in the Git? Because you want to find out what was the modification, when was the modification done, why the modification done, where did I did the modification, and all this thing over the period of time. So that is the code you store on the Git or SVN, right?
Correct.
Same thing, what about the static code? I mean, what about the quality reports? You generate the quality reports of your source code every day. Like, okay, you generate it for C today, you generate it for C++, Java, Perl, Python, all this you generated every day. But are you storing somewhere so you can have a better visualization, whether you are on a right path or wrong path or something like that? Okay, so SonarQube is the place. That's the reason I said SonarQube is a what do you say, quality management tool. Quality management tool. Okay,
Okay. Yeah. I'm clear.
good. Okay, so now the important question is how SonarQube works, and I would request everyone to look at my screen very carefully because you need to understand this one very well. Okay, because this is the only one problem which you'll be having. Apart from that, there is nothing much about it. Okay, so how SonarQube works? So let's say this is the SonarQube. This is a SonarQube server. Okay, SonarQube server. Now what you have in the SonarQube, that's a different thing. I will explain one by one. This is a SonarQube server. Now what you do, this is your source code which is lying somewhere. I don't know. So now let's understand, you have a source code somewhere in the some directory and SonarQube is some server located somewhere. What we have will explore slowly. Now how these guys will connect each other. That means how this reports of the SRC source code will be stored here. So first thing, you have to generate a code, right? Then only you can store it. So reports has to be generated. So the reports has to be generated, right? I'm sorry, I'm not very good in drawing. I was once upon a time. Okay, this is a report. Mouse is not moving properly. Okay, fine. So now report has to be generated, but the question is how the report will be generated. So the report has to be generated using the static code analysis tool. Like let's say talk about the Java. So these are the tools we have. These are the tools which we have. You see that we have to use that. For Java, check style, find bug, EMMA, PMD, all these things. So these tools, where are these tools? So basically, SonarQube server has these tools. So now what happens? These two, let's say one of the tools, I'll take it check style. Okay, I'll just put it check style C. Okay, so check style has to run here on the source code and then source code and then generate the report. Now the problem here is how can you run? How can you run the rules of the check style? Because check style is a tool name which has maybe rules, 500 rules, 300 rules, or whatever the rules we have. So check style has a rules. So how can you run these rules on source code? So there's one broker in between which acts like that and which we call it scanner. So I'll put it broker, okay, and B is equal to here scanner. The name is scanner. Okay, now what is this guy is doing? This is the kind of broker between the Sonar server and the Sonar server and then source code. So SonarQube server we have somewhere in the some machine. Now source code is in some location in some drive or something. Now this broker, which you call scanner, is runs go once you run it here. Let's understand this flow. Broker hit on the Sonar source code, and they understand, okay, this is a Java, this is C++, this is what, this is that, and then they hit go here and then hit to the Sonar server check style. Okay, and from here what they do, they copy all the rules whatever you are applying on the source code and again apply on the source code. Okay, again apply on the source code. Now the moment you apply these rules which is like a tool, static code analysis tools, which you have on the SonarQube server, and apply on this source code, they generate a report. Okay, this report you have to store it somewhere. So this report again this broker will store in the database of the SonarQube. So now this is a database DB. They have a schemas and all stuff like that. In that format they store it. Okay, now this DB is connected with the dashboard one way or another way. So this is the dashboard. Okay, so now what happens, I'll recall it. You have a source code somewhere in the drive, you have a SonarQube server. So now first this broker, this scanner always hits on the source code, understand what is the language you are having. Based on the language it goes to the SonarQube server and get the profile which is called rules, or which these rules are coming from the check style, Emma, find bugs, so many tools. These rules they copy it and from here they apply on the source code. After the applying on the source code they generate the report. This is what the quality of your source code, and this reports again get stored in the database with the help of broker, and this database is having the fine-tuned connection with the dashboard of the SonarQube and which access and showcase. So now in a nutshell, in the SonarQube server we have two things: database, dashboard and rules of the static code analysis. This is the way SonarQube works. Now I'll pause a few seconds and I'll ask you, do you have any still confusion?
Yeah, I lost in between the process.
Okay, so now I'm going to clear it up my things.
Rajesh, broker is also some kind of a tool, or
Yeah,
what
broker
is
is
what
one,
exactly is
one tool,
broker?
one jar file.
Okay.
Okay, so now this is your SonarQube server. Okay, in the SonarQube server you have all the tools, static code analysis tools, rules already uploaded. If this not uploaded, you can upload it already also. Okay, so now this is the SonarQube static code analysis tool, and this is the SonarQube server. Now this is the source code and the reports. Let's delete this because it's not generated so far. Okay, now this is what happens. So you run the broker. Okay, just see that you run the broker on the source code, and after running the broker your broker decide, okay, this source code in Java or C++ or .NET, Python and all. Basically in the each source code you have one property file. Okay, so scanner read that property file. Okay, it's doing nothing but reading that property file, so you have to create that property file. I'll show you, that's not very difficult task. Okay, so basically broker read the source code, understand the technology, after that it try to get the rules for that technology language which is there on the SonarQube. So probably let's say it's in Java, so you'll get the check style, find bug, MR rules and all, and these rules they'll copy and apply on the source code. The moment they apply the source code, they generate a reports which can be in any format, HTML, SQL, CSV, this that data kind of things. These reports, they store in the database of the SonarQube server, because SonarQube has a database also. They stored in the database, and from the database this reports is being shown in the dashboard. That is what it happened in the SonarQube. Is it understood? Is it understood?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now you tell me, in order to work with this, what you need? You need SonarQube server, which has a DB dashboard and rules of all the static code analysis. Okay, and then you need one more thing, scanner, and one more thing, source code. And source code should be having the properties file. Okay, right? Correct, no? Do you need anything else?
So broker is a part of SonarQube software itself, or
No,
is it
we have to
something?
we have to install it separately. That's the reason. SonarQube server is this one, okay, which has a DB dashboard and rules. Scanner is a different software. Source code is a different what you have it. So three elements you need it now. Am I making any sense now?
Yeah.
Okay.
So one on SonarQube server side, so rules file, is it like default files will be there, or is it like we need to write our own rule files?
You can write your own rule file, but actually if you look at these tools is open source. Let's say talk about check style is open source tag, and some geek programmer, they have written rules, okay, and these rules you can modify it, you can use it as the way it is, you can delete it, all this thing, okay. So it depends on you what you want actually, okay.
Okay, but when we install it, we will get the default rule files also, right? Based
Yes.
on, like, let's say, consider a generic Java project.
This rules,
So maybe,
this rules is coming from the check style, Emma, find bugs, all this tool. So basically, whenever you install the SonarQube server, these rules you will get it. You can create a new rule,
okay,
you can delete these rules, but be mindful about it. If you see the rules, these rules are nothing but is coming from these tools only. Okay. SonarQube is not having their own tools, their own rules or something.
okay.
Okay. Any confusion?
No, clear.
Yeah, Rajesh. Do we need to add as a plugins these tools like checkstyle, findbugs in SonarQube server?
Yes. So many of the plugins of the rules, which is open source, are already included in the SonarQube server. Some rules, if you do not find it, you have a ways to install the plugins, and that will be installed. Some plugins you have need to buy and then install it. Okay.
Okay, all right. Thanks.
Okay, so now this is very simple. Now you got the SonarQube server set up. You have to have a scanner set up, and a source file has to be there. So now I am going to do the same thing. First, I am going to set up the SonarQube, and as you know that everything I do on the AWS, so you can get the comfortable feelings also of using the cloud computing. Okay, I'll go for the medium and add storage 30 GB. Let's go with that. Okay, I got the machine. Okay, let me make it bigger. Here it is. Now, as per our discussion, I am going to need SonarQube server. So let's go and grab the SonarQube server. So first thing, let me tell you, SonarQube is a Java based application. So you have to install the Java. So complete installation of Java, which I'm having here. So I'm going to install Java first, and it should be done now in few seconds. One of the reason I'm using AWS for everything, so I can show you the demo quickest way, so we can save good time for the discussion and many more things. And we have a greater internet speed here, which is like getting done everything. Even you download 1 GB of data within few minutes. Okay, so now install the Java. That's okay. And now I am going to set up pre-Java. So now I'm going to set up the SonarQube server. So where we'll get the SonarQube server? Of course, I'll get it on the SonarQube website itself. Just put it SonarQube download.
Rajesh, do we have any restriction that we need to download only 1.8, 1.7, 1.6 Java for SonarQube?
Nowadays standard is become 1.8. Okay, so 1.7 is like a gone time. So
Okay.
just again, guys, hold on for 2 seconds. Okay, so now we are going to download this. You see this SonarQube 6.4. Just copy the URL and I'll install the wget, which is not there in this machine. In this, okay, now installed it. Now I'm going to download it. So usually here it is, and download is almost finished. Now I'm going to extract it. So unzip, clear the screen, unzip. Okay, zip is not there, so no problem. Yum install, unzip. Okay, I have got this extraction done, but normally where I store, in Linux I store this one in SonarQube OPT directory. So everything I put it in OPTs, that way I can manage everything properly, rather than I forgot normally different places. Okay, so now I have OPT. Now I go to the under the SonarQube. I just unzip it. That's all. I did not do anything great. Just unzipped it, put it in the OPT, and now I go into the bin folder. Okay, and here it is. And I will go with the technology. So mine is Linux 64-bit, so which is here. If you are running on the Windows, you can go to the Windows directory and run this guy. Running dot this one. Now it says start, stop, restart, status, I'll put a start, and SonarQube is running. So now it's running, but you don't know on what port it is running. So it's good to grab the port number. I think if I'm not wrong 9000, but I will just show you also. So if you are not sure about it, if you are getting lost, then you can verify. So all the configuration will be in the conf directory. Okay. So I went to the bin directory to start the services, but configurations are here, which is called sonar.properties. So I just see if I put it sonar.properties, you can see the hell lot of data are there. Database related entries are here. Embedded H2 related entries. So by default, I'm running right now on the H2. Okay. If you want to run on the MySQL, you have to uncomment this one. Okay. If you want to run on the Oracle, you need to uncomment these entries and fill the information. PostgreSQL, you have it here. MS SQL, you have it there here. Okay. And now I'm looking for the which port I'm running. So I'll go. So these are the connection pool setting. How many connections you want at the same time from the, and here is a web server setup. Here you can see the web server. So by default, it is running on 9000 port. Okay, it's commented, but by default it's running on the 19000. So it says no TCP port for incoming HTTP connection, default value is 9000. So if you want to change it, you have to change this guy and make it accessible. So now I'm here, put it 9000, and this is your SonarQube server. Okay, and if you want to log in, the username is admin, and probably password is also admin or password. Admin work, username is admin, password is admin, and this is your SonarQube server. Okay, now you can see this, there's so many tabs are there. Projects, no projects, you have issues, you don't have any issues. Why? Because there's no project. Rules, you should have so many rules. So as I said to you, you have the rules. You see that Java has 409 rules, Python has 238 rules, C# has these many rules. So each of these technology have a rules. If the technologies are not there, or if you want to include the more rules, you have to go and edit more rules actually. Okay, so you can add more rules, you can delete these rules, whatever you can see that, and all this sort of things. Okay, so everything it can be possible. Here, what is this quality profile? So quality profile is like this. Quality profile is like this. So let's say you have thousands of rules, thousands of rules. Okay, just understand, very simple to understand. If you visualize it, you have thousands of rules. Right now you can see that how many rules you have here. If you see that Java itself has a 409 rules. Okay, but the problem here is you don't want to run all these 409 rules. What you want to run, let's say you want to run 200 rules. So some rules you want to take it from the check style, some you want to quality, find bugs. So basically what you did, one given point of the time, you take it few rules which you need it. Basically each project requirements are different, they want to monitor the different thing, so they will take it these rules from these languages, and as of now you will take it these rules from the 400, and you will, let's say you have a 400 rules, 1000 rules, and now you created your own set of rules, your own sort of collection of 100 rules, and that rules you named it quality profiles. Okay, now this quality profiles you apply on the source code. Okay, so remember, you don't run all the rules, you run the rules only which you need it. So how do you create it? You have these rules, you create your own quality profile. So SonarQube has created a few default profile for you. So one for the C#, you can see that how many rules you have, 160 rules, which was never used. Flex, you have one again 60 rules, which was never used. You do have Java, which has 271 rules which you selected and which was never used. This projects, it's a default. So basically you created a rule, you created a profile which you need it. Not every rules you need it, right? So this is kind of things. Quality gates we'll talk about later. As of now, quality gates is like you are passing the gates, then only you are saying that okay, your project is stable. If you're not passing the gates, that means it's like this. Quality gates like this. You have thousands of rules. Out of that you have got hundreds of rules for your project, and that you call it quality profile 1. Now out of this quality profile 1, you say 60 rule has to be passed, and then only the project will be in the green, or else it will be failed. So this kind of gates you created. So that gates you have to create it here. There's one gate which is already created, which is called SonarQube, and in the SonarQube you have here, you see that coverage on the new code always it should be less than at 80, and maintainability, reliability, security, AAA. Means if you're not having the AAA, then that means the project is in a bad state. That means you're not passing the gates. Okay?
So Rajesh, what is the new code there?
New?
New code. Is there any difference between new code and existing code?
Okay.
No, coverage on new code. Yeah.
So let me tell you, so whenever you have, these are the wording, security rating on the new code. That means whenever you add the source code, new code means adding the new files, then because anyways that you did the security check for the old code and you keep doing it. So you have passed those gates already, but you want to see whether the new code added to the projects is passing that gates or not. If you, it's like a threshold. If it's like this, it's like this. It's like this. You have already, you are inside the room, okay, and you have already let's say it's like this. You have a building, and inside the building you have 20 people already inside it. So you don't need to test those 20 people. But if you want to bring some people out of that out of the world inside that room, so you have to check that okay, that person is having minimum. Let me talk about it in a simple way. Let me talk about the visa. Okay, and everyone must be aware of this. Now every time they change the visa rule, right? USA, some of you must be located in USA or Canada or Europe. So now those people who are already staying in USA, they need not to pass any gates. I mean, they need not to go through any procedures, formal procedures and all, because you guys are staying from last many years. No matter at that time your visa were very flexible, that rules were very soft and things like that. Now what you may have the rule on the visa restrictions, like if this new guy is, I want to get let him inside only in case if he's following the certain criteria, and in that case if he's passing, then only allow the things to be happen in a night way. Otherwise I'll create the project in a red condition or something like that. So it's kind of things. So here you are creating a gates, okay, for the new code. Old codes are already passed, so you don't have to create a new gate for that, gates for that. Okay.
Okay. Okay. And also, how can we add new rules in, say, Java plugin?
Yeah.
How can we add a new rules?
To add a new rules. One is like you can go and rules. Okay, rules is nothing but a is like a class. Okay. You
Okay.
have a class and you use it, this class. But how can you add it? So let me show you. Let's say you are having Java. Let me first, did I logged in? Yes, I logged in. Rules. Java. Just a second. Earlier there was one button adding rules, but I think they have moved to the admin section. Let me check here, and then if I do not find, then we'll have to go into the admin section under the plugins. So okay, so this is not here, so we'll have to go to administration section. Just follow me. You have to go to the administration section and then go to the system, and then go to the update center. Okay, look at this update center, and here these are the rules you have installed it. These are the rules you have installed it. Okay, now you can see this C++ flex and all, these are the installed things. Now if you want to see the available list, you have to see it here. These are the rules. If you install, you will get the more rules. See, new rules, initial release. So you have to search by the rules. So how many rules you have? See, these are the rules you get it. Code checker for C++, find bugs, PMD, rule compilations and all this stuff. So you can install it from here also. Okay.
No, I'm not asking how to install the plugins. I was asking like how to add new rules inside a plugin, like existing plugins in Java. We have we have like 400 rules right now.
There's a two things. These rule, what you ask the questions, how to add more rules here, right?
Yeah, our customized rules.
Yeah. So for adding the rules itself, you have to install the plugins. Some plugins will enhance the functionality. Some plugins will install the rules actually. Getting my points?
Okay.
Some plugins, see, if you install, okay, if you see that you don't have ABAP, okay, ABAP rules. Let me show you here. Do you have ABAP coding? These are programming languages. Get loaded. I think Shivam also has sent one URL.
Yeah, it says you have to create template and then you save that template. It saves as a rule.
No, that is the like how to create a rules. Okay, how to create a rules.
I think
this is like a writing.
That's what Harish is asking. No.
Exactly. Yeah.
No.
Thanks.
Are you asking how to create a rules or how to add a rules?
Yeah, to create a rules. I think my English is bad.
Sorry. So if you want to create a rules, then you have to have the Java knowledge or any programming languages which you are trying to create the rule for, and then you have to program it. Okay. If you are creating rules for the Java, then you have to know the Java, and also you need to write a class file. And so these are the standard which you can refer it. If you are writing your own rules, but most of the time you do not write the rules because you just want to use it. So let's say here that ABAP, why is not loading? I don't know. Okay, so ABAP is not there. So what do you have to do? Some of these roles are paid. Some of these rules are free. So those rules are free. You can install it immediately. You see this ABAP. This is licensed under the commercial. But if you find bugs, let's go for the find bugs. Okay, and this is under the GNU GPL, so you can install it without any problem. So here it says, okay, so this is not a rules actually. It says added support for the SonarQube. So there's some more functionality will be added for the SonarQube 6 and all stuff like. So this is not a rule, but there are rules which you can install and you'll have to search and stuff like that. Okay, so what SonarQube has done it, they have consolidated all the rules which was available free of cost, and they put it under the rules actually. And if you want to use it, go ahead and use it. If you don't want to use it, then don't add in the quality profiles. Then it's not good. Make sense?
Okay, Rajesh, thanks.
Yeah. Now let's get back to the thing. So now what we have? So we have got SonarQube server, that is wonderful. Now we need to get the scanner. Scanner I need third. Before that I need a source code. So let me give you the source code location where we can have all the list of languages and then stuff like that. So the source code location which we have is on the SonarQube side. SonarQube example projects. Okay, just to search this one, SonarQube example projects, and they have created example project for all the 30 plus languages. Okay, so now analyze application, where is this? See here, to help you to get started with SonarQube, a list of sample projects is available on GitHub that can be browsed or downloaded here. Okay, so this is the list of projects what you have. Now, I immediately got started downloading actually. Let me browse it. Here it is. Okay, so if you see the under the projects, these are the languages, and these are the Android, C++, plus, Flex, generic, Java, and all stuff. Let's concentrate on Java sample programming, and these are the code coverage, Gradle and Maven sample. You have it here, okay, and stuff like that. So click on the code coverage. Have it this one. So you have so many projects which according to the languages which you can use it, and then for the what do you say, for the trying it out the SonarQube. So I too have created one project, sample project, which is it's there here in my account, which is called SCM Galaxy, and one sample project which is here is a very simple project. You see that SRC has a two Java file. This property files, which I said, if you remember my discussion, SRC is read by the broker, or which is called scanner, and this read nothing but a one property file, and this is the property file which scanners look for. So this is a file, and what do you have here? In this property file you have a project name, keys, version, what is the type of your source code. So this is the one, where is your source code? So inside the SRC directory, which is here, okay. And now all this information, okay, you will get all this information in the sample project which you have here, okay. Now I just do what I will just download this guy, and then where should I download it? Clear the screen. Now I go to my home page, a home location, user location. This is the place where I'm downloading this source code. So now I got the source code also. I will unzip this master, unzip. Okay, now get into the master. Where is that? Here it is. Okay, so this is the source code. So now I got the two ingredients in order to use the SonarQube. SonarQube server setup is done. I got the source code as well along with the property file done. Now I need a scanner. So let me tell you, scanner also you will get multiple kind of scanner, okay. Why you need a multiple kind of scanner? Because sometime what you have a project in Maven, sometime you have an MS build, sometime in Ant, sometime in some like Eclipse you want to use it. So depends on that, okay. So now here you have a scanner which you can see, this is the version, and scanner you can download for the Linux, you can download for the Windows, you can download for the Mac and in other platforms. So let's go for the Linux, okay. Bad, it got directly. Okay, so how can I skip it? Here it is. Okay, I did not mean to download and all, just I want to show you this place. This is the place where you get the scanner, but also you can get the scanner by the multiple types. So let me show you that one. I'm just so see here. So running analysis. So you have a scanner for MS build, okay. You have a scanner for the Maven, POM file, Gradle, Ant, Jenkins, and for the manual analysis. So I'm downloading right now for the manual analysis. So if you understand manual, then understanding these and all are very easy, and also Jenkins you need to know, and you need to know, Gradle you need to know, and all this stuff. Okay, so now this is the manual last one I am doing, SonarQube, which is a manual things using the command line. So let me download the scanner now. So I'm downloading this in my folder, which is home folder. So this is the third thing you needed. Remember, scanner also is a kind of jar file, so you need to have a Java in it. So wherever you can run scanner anywhere, but I'm running everything in one machine now. Okay, you can run anywhere, but I'll show you the demo also, how can you run the scanner from the another machine. So unzip. Okay, now you saw that I got the scanner which is here, and let me rename it so that way you can understand better. Scanner. I just renamed it. I will delete the remaining files so you should not get confused actually. So here it is. So now you saw that I'll delete master.zip also, and I will rename this long directory, this one, to the src. Okay, now you know that source code is here, scanner is here. So now you are done with it. You got the SonarQube server, you got this scanner, you got the source code in one machine right now. So now what will happen? By default all the setup is ready. Now you go to scanner and go to the bin. I'm going to the scanner and get this path. This is your scanner path. Okay, and what is the file which you are running? Sonar scanner, and that you have to put it here. So now you kept it here, root sonar scanner bin. This is the path, this is sonar scanner path. You need to run where? On your source code, and the place where you need the place where you have a properties file, remember. So properties file is here. Okay, this is the properties file, so you need to go and run it on the source code. That's all, and I did it. So now you saw that it's running. It was only having 2 files, you see that. So it has been analyzed. Okay, there were some data was created, it was success, everything is okay. Now I should go to my dashboard, and you see that HSBC Raj, from where it is coming. So basically that is my job name, that's my project name. So here you have it. Let's click on this. See, HSBC-Raj, you saw that. So let me close the remaining here. Now it's a passing, reliability gate is passing, security gate is also passing, maintainability gate is also passing. There's no coverage, but duplicate data, these many lines of code you have it, CLOC we call it, 31 lines. So quality gate is passed. Okay, why? Because there's no issues as such which is passing right now, but security issues, no reliability, it's a very small code. But if you go and dig out this project, 0 bugs, that means as part of the bugs and vulnerabilities you have 0 issues, 0 security issues. But 1 hour of that code that you have it, what? So if you see that duplicate code actually, so here if you click the duplicate code issues, then these 2 files you have it, and this file, first file, has a 60.7% duplicate code. And how many lines duplicate? 7 lines. Click on it and then see that these are the duplicate which you are having. So basically this could have been written, rather than if and return, this could have been written using the for loops. So this is called duplicate code. Okay, so you can avoid this kind of practices and stuff like that. So basically all this coding standard and all is basically for the developers who's writing a code. They can read it, what should be the best practices, manner, measure and all the stuff, and then they can continue. So now they have to again fix that understanding by these issues, and then you can see the activities, you can view all this stuff, you can visualize over the project timeline. As of now it's not created because I have run it only once. You need to run it 2-3 times to get the timeline, okay, and stuff like that. So did you saw that? Any questions? In the list view you can.
Aren't we supposed to?
Huh?
I have a question, Rajesh. We were supposed to see some kind of report because you were saying it generates report in CSV file or XML file.
Okay. So when I say, okay, it's like this. Remember my diagram. When you run these tools individually, check style, covariate, find bugs and all, then only you will get the reports. But what this broker is doing, they are storing these reports on your database.
Oh, I see.
Okay.
So how do you send this analysis back to the developer?
So they will, just like this, the one way I'm browsing, the developers will get the access, anyone can access this one, anyone can see, okay. They will click on their project, they will see, okay, 1 hour of the date, what do you have it? So these are the issues, and if you integrate with Git, then you'll come to know who's had checked in this code. Okay, you can assign to anyone. As of now I am not having so many users, but you can assign to anyone. You can open a ticket with Jira and all stuff like this. So many things you can do that.
Oh, I see. Okay, thanks.
Okay. Any other question?
Rajesh, yeah, what is this code smell in SonarQube? Like, it seems to be a new term here. Bugs and vulnerabilities we understand, but code smell, not clear.
So these are the issues. Basically, you will see that it's like this. Let me go to this place. Here you have a code smell. So if you see that code smell section, you have a 1 hour of work date. And remember technical data I did talked about it.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's 1 hour of technical debt you have it, and as part of this 1 hour of technical debt you have 4 issues, 4 places we need to fix it. So that's kind of like 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's called code smell. Code smell.
Okay.
Okay, now this everything I run in the one machine. Now you have to run, as per the discussion you see that this broker can be anywhere. The source code can be anywhere. It can be developer machines also, and SonarQube will be only at one place. So what I'm doing to give you the another perspective, how can you run from any other machine? So let me tell you, my SonarQube server is accessible by all the IP address. So I have a SonarQube scanner which is here. Okay, again in my Windows. Okay, as I said, it can be anywhere. Okay, so this is my SonarQube scanner which I need to run. So where is my source code? So I have a source code, some sample source code which is here. Okay, and this is my source code. This is my source code. Now I need to change this one to something else. So let me change it. So no. So let me, my keys is SCM Galaxy. Your project name is Dune Live. Let me put it SCM Galaxy itself. Your version is 1.1. Source code is in SRC, technology of code, Java, and all stuff like that. So I changed this, all this stuff. Okay. So now it's, you know that. And now I go to my Sonar scanner, which is here. And here, if the scanner is not in the same machine, then you need to tell where is your SonarQube server, because by default it is a local host 9000. If you see that your scanner by default it is more sonars. By default it is 9000 localhost. That's the reason it worked. But if it is outside, you have to be mindful of, you need to tell where is your SonarQube. So SonarQube is in this location, and I will put it here, and then only you will be able to paste it. You'll be able to convert this. So what I do, I've got this Windows machine, and should go to my source code over the command line, and Java is installed in my machine. So and run my scanner. Sorry, a scanner name I am missing it. So it's here bin. What is my scanner? This is the one. Scanner bat. And now it's running with the new project. You see that it directed. It's taking some time. Okay, so this is the way you can do that stuff. Now, any questions on this so far?
Rajesh, can you show one more time where in the scanner file you gave the location of your project?
In the properties of your scanner, they'll be asked which is your host file. So you have to put the host file which is here. I just put the IP address and all the stuff like that.
So I think I'm missing the part. So how does it
this is your scanner,
detect the source code? Yeah.
See, this is your scanner. In the conf, you have to tell where is your SonarQube server, and you ask like how to detect the source code. Basically, if you remember, you are running the scanner on the source code itself.
Okay, I see. Got it.
Okay, it will take some time. Windows is always slow. So this is the way. Any questions so far? Any questions so far?
Rajesh, I have one question. If we need to install the SonarQube and scanner in database server, right? I mean, in the real-time application.
No, as of now you are installing in H2 database, by default database. But if you want to store in the, let's say, MySQL database, so go to your SonarQube server, which is I have installed in the OPT location. Okay, I go to that place and stop the services first, and I will go and change that this file, which is called sonar.properties file, and I will enable that database, whichever the database you are using. So let's say it says embedded database, which is default. So if you don't want this database, automatically just uncomment these lines, okay, and then change your database name, host, this, that, and it will start working automatically.
Okay, in that case, if my Java source code is in application server, then I have to give that server name in the properties file?
Yes.
Okay.
Any questions, guys? Any other question? No? Okay, so now what we are doing, we are wrapping up the session with this tool only, and we will continue our classes next week, and then we'll take up more questions, more tools, more things, and we will have the